a post-COVID world in transportation is a totally different world.
As we try to avoid public transport, that might mean more and more cars on the road. Bicycles are an option, but they require a certain level of fitness. But what about one of these? They're clean, they're green, and they're quick, but they are still illegal in some countries.
The ban really, it's to do with an old law relating to motorized driven personal transport. Motorized driven transport requires insurance, it requires a license plate, it requires a large helmet, a motorcycle type helmet. So, which is why we now need this legislation to be passed here in the UK, so we can follow suit like has been done in France, in Italy, in Spain, in Germany. There are scooters everywhere. People are moving around. There is a movement towards this type of vehicle. With Germany really spearheading all of this in Europe, and now the need for people to move around cities, perhaps without the use of public transport, this is the right time for a product like this.
Charles will see rental e-scooters allowed in various cities in the UK, but privately owned e-scooters will remain illegal to use until after the trial.
People that have ridden shared scooters around the world are all for this as a mode of transport. So it is a great solution, and we have to see how that works out. But the challenges now for public transport and the way we are going to move around post-COVID-19, this is something that has to be addressed straight away. The rental model has got people on scooters. This has got hundreds of millions of people, millions of rides around the world, got people on the product, and they think, this is great. This is a great way to move around the city. I think for us, our model is based around ownership. And I think that, if we imagine how the world is going to change post-COVID-19, are we as likely to pick up a product that somebody else has had their hands on not 5 minutes before? We're probably less likely to do that.
The most familiar e-scooter design is similar to a push scooter. It has small wheels, which some people think can be a safety issue. John and his team have reimagined what an e-scooter could look like.
Our scooter is based essentially around bicycle principles. This is essentially an e-bike without a seat. So it's a natural product to ride, it's natural to stand on. You don't need any training, it's stable and it's safe. That geometry that we've used, proven geometry from a bicycle setup, works when you stood up. It's a safe solution, it's nimble, you're in and out of traffic, but you're safe and you're visible, and that's the important thing. It's a visible product because it's notably larger than what is currently available on the market.
Why has London, with so many people trying to commute on a daily basis, been so far behind on the e-scooter bandwagon?
I think this really relates to the infrastructure within the cities in the UK. London is an ancient city. It's been there for a long time. The road network has been there for a long time. It wasn't even necessarily geared up for cars, if we really look at it. They're not particularly wide boulevards, really. Currently, we don't have the cycle lane in the same way that they do in Europe. But I think that, the introduction of cycle lanes and a proper part of the road for micro-mobility, this is going to change everything moving forward.
With car use down during the pandemic, cities across the world are implementing schemes and reallocating road space for pedestrians and people on greener modes of transport, such as bicycles, electric bikes, or e-scooters.
It's not been something that hasn't been able to have been done before. We've managed this in a couple of weeks. So it's very exciting now that's starting to happen, and it gives that safer environment. It makes the rider feel safer, that they have their own part of the road, essentially. Bicycles and electric scooters have as much of a part of transportation going forward as any car or buses. But the reality is that a post-COVID world in transportation is a totally different world. I've never seen the sky so blue, and I'm not the only person. The lack of petrol motors on the highways has made a huge difference. And actually, for the first time, rather than people talking about it, this is what's going to happen. We've seen it ourselves.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and hit the bell button below for notifications.